He woke up like every other morning. Before sunrise, coffee brewing, kids still asleep. Marco Ruiz, a 43-year-old father of three, kissed his wife on the forehead and headed to work. What he didn't know was that it would be the last morning he'd spend at home for a very long time. Marco came to the United States legally in 2005. He fled the violence erupting in his hometown in El Salvador after gangs took over his neighborhood and murdered his cousin right in front of his family's doorstep. With nothing but a passport, a backpack, and a borrowed $300, Marco crossed the border through legal channels. He applied for asylum. It wasn't easy, months of paperwork, endless interviews, and sleepless nights. But he did everything right. He settled in Texas, got a job in construction, and eventually saved up enough to bring his wife and daughters over legally. By 2010, Marco was a proud father of a blended, bicultural family, living modestly but proudly. They rented a 2-bedroom home, shared meals every night, prayed together every morning. His daughters called him Super Papa. Marco paid his taxes, never got in trouble with the law, volunteered at church, even mentored young men in his neighborhood, steered them away from gangs. He filed every renewal form for his status, paid every fee, and showed up for every immigration check-in. And then one Tuesday morning, everything changed. At 6:17 a.m., while the family was preparing breakfast, a loud knock rattled the door. ICE agents were looking for Marco. They had a warrant. They said he was being detained for failure to appear. A mistake. A hearing notice had been sent to the wrong address. A clerical error. Marco had no idea. No warning. No second chance. He turned to his wife and whispered, "Take care of the girls." His youngest daughter crying, "Where are they taking you, Papa?" He was handcuffed on the porch, barefoot, as neighbors watched in shock. His daughter stood frozen behind the window, their small hands pressing glass, trying to understand what had just happened. Marco was taken to a detention center 3 hours away. His wife, Gabriella, was left alone with 3 children and a single income. Terrified that she'd be next, calls from detention were limited to 5 minutes. No hugs, no visits, just his voice through a static phone line, saying the same thing each time. "Tell the girls I love them. Tell them I'll be home soon." But soon kept stretching further and further away. Inside the center, Marco witnessed cruelty, overcrowding, and fear. Dozens of other men like him, landscapers, cooks, carpenters, who had lived in the U.S. for years, suddenly branded as criminals. Outside, his family launched a legal fight. Community members rallied. His daughter posted a video on TikTok, viral, tearfully holding a drawing of her father behind bars with the words, "He did everything right." That video sparked outrage and action. A local reporter picked up the story. Civil rights lawyers stepped in. And finally, after 9 months in detention, the error was corrected. Marco was released. But he didn't come home to the life he left behind. His job was gone. Bills had piled up. His oldest daughter had started therapy for anxiety. His youngest refused to sleep without the lights on. His wife, once energetic and hopeful, now quietly cried in the kitchen when no one was looking. Marco now sits quietly most days on the same porch he was taken from, wondering, how did doing everything right lead to this? This story isn't unique. It's not even rare. Every year, thousands of families face the same nightmare. Detained because of technicalities, torn apart without warning, and left to pick up the pieces after the damage is done. This is immigration injustice. And until the system sees the humanity behind the paperwork, families like Marco's will continue to suffer in silence.